In November 1979, the Iranian Revolution reached a boiling point. Thousands of demonstrators swarmed the gates of the U.S. Embassy in Tehran, scaling the brick walls and overwhelming the Marine Guards inside. Within hours, 52 American citizens were officially prisoners of the new regime. The capture paralyzed the United States government, leaving Washington entirely unsure of how to respond. But the Iranian forces missed something. During the chaos of the initial breach, 6 American diplomats managed to slip out through a back exit, vanishing into the streets of a city of 4 million people. Getting them out was a logistical nightmare. Looking at this tactical map of Tehran, the embassy sits exposed in the center. Every border and airport was heavily guarded. The regime was actively recounting their captives. Realizing their math was off by 6, the search radius began closing in on the unprotected safehouses. Standard military extraction protocols were off the table. A helicopter assault or an armed convoy would trigger the immediate execution of the very targets they were trying to save. To get them out, the CIA had to abandon conventional tactics entirely and engineer a completely new type of exfiltration. The CIA assigned the extraction mission to Tony Mendez. He was the agency's chief of disguise, a specialist tasked with conceptualizing a way to move assets in and out of a hostile capital city. Mendez realized that entering a lockdown war zone required a specific identity. He needed a group with a reason to be there, one that could travel openly and ask questions without triggering alarms. He settled on a Hollywood film crew scouting locations for a science fiction epic. The operational strategy relied on a concept called hypervisibility. Instead of trying to hide in the shadows, where guards are specifically trained to look for spies, acting loud and flamboyant provides a different kind of camouflage. It uses the assumption that no secret agent would ever draw those like attention to themselves. To pull this off, the CIA built a physical reality in Los Angeles. They set up Studio 6 Productions on an old Columbia studio lot, hired a makeup artist, installed functioning phone lines, and purchased a real science fiction script titled Argo. They even took out actual promotional advertisements for the film in industry trade magazines like Variety. They threw a launch party. They made the fake movie more real than most actual movies in pre-production. This level of detail was a necessity because the Revolutionary Guard was cross-referencing every foreigner entering the country. If a guard called the Hollywood office, a real person had to answer the phone and confirm the production schedule. The CIA manufactured a 360-degree reality because even a single missing detail would lead to an arrest. When Mendez arrived at the Canadian ambassador's residence in Tehran, he faced his hardest task, convincing 6 exhausted, terrified diplomats to abandon their actual identities and become a Canadian film crew. For 2 days, they underwent an intense rehearsal process. Mendez aggressively drilled them on their new Hollywood backstories, their jobs, and their motivations, repeating the details until the lies became automatic reflexes. But right before departure, they discovered a critical operational flaw. The CIA had mistakenly stamped the fake Canadian passports with the wrong entry dates that did not align properly with the local Iranian calendar. Mendez had to rely on an improvised, analog solution. He used a splash of the Canadian ambassador's Scotch whiskey to moisten a dry ink pad, allowing him to manually restamp and correct the fatal error by hand. It is a sharp reminder of how high-stakes intelligence actually works. The success or failure of these operations rarely comes down to advanced gadgets. It almost always hinges on the fragile, meticulous management of administrative details. At dawn on January 28, 1980, the group arrived at Tehran's Mehrabad airport. This was the ultimate stress test. Their meticulously constructed reality was about to collide with heavily armed Iranian border security. The tension spiked at the immigration counter. A border guard flagged diplomat Lee Schatz, staring back and forth between Schatz's real-life mustache and his entirely clean-shaven passport photo. Instead of panicking, Schatz leaned entirely into his fake Hollywood persona. He offered a casual, dismissive shrug, as if the discrepancy was simply an annoying bureaucratic oversight. The sheer confidence of the gesture short-circuited the guard's suspicion. The guard stamped the passport. The group boarded a Swiss Air flight, and the operation officially succeeded the exact second the aircraft cleared Iranian airspace. Immediately after, the United States initiated a geopolitical cover-up. To protect the remaining 52 hostages from retaliation, the CIA classified their involvement entirely, allowing the Canadian government to take 100% of the public credit for the rescue. While the 6 escapees celebrated a secret victory, the grim reality continued for the 52 Americans left behind. They remained trapped inside Iran for a grueling 444 days before finally returning home to their own delayed ceremonies. During the most paralyzing diplomatic standoff of the Cold War, meticulous fabrication accomplished what military force couldn't. These 6 people came home because the CIA built a lie that was too detailed to doubt.